What is Happiness by Chanel Armstead. The definition of happiness is vague, to say the least, only on account that everyone is different, like snowflakes. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines happiness as a state of well-being and contentment, a pleasurable experience. When Googling the word happiness, many pictures of people jumping for joy appear. Does this mean happiness is temporary? Of course, when you jump, you can't stay there forever. You must come down. Has this been the subliminal message all along? Happiness is a sensation of love, touch of belonging, and personal contentment, which is a feeling within an exact or sometimes spontaneous moment. Happiness is perceived in children's movies to believe that once you find your Prince Charming, you'll live happily ever after, brainwashing the idea that love and happiness go hand in hand at such a young age. How can a person not think this is a way of life? In fact, most statistics say that people believe once they find love, they will find happiness. Researchers say we need to feel loved and secure in order to be happy. We also need to love back or the balance is disturbed. Research shows that it is the quality over our relations that brings us onto the path of happiness. Can a person long for love to a point that they push happiness farther and farther away instead of letting it come to them? You have to love yourself first before anyone else can love you. Happiness and love do for certain have one thing in common. They both start within. Belonging is yet another key factor to happiness. Without belonging, a person would definitely feel alone, and that would lead to unhappiness and even depression. Study shows that as humans, we need to belong to one another, to our friends and families, to our culture and country, to our world. Belonging is primal, fundamental to our sense of happiness and well-being. Not saying that those who do prefer to be alone and astray from others are not likely to be happy. However, the statistics of those that do prefer to be amongst others heavily outweigh those that tend to be loners. Usually, individuals that have something in common migrate together. Things such as race, background, religion, and, but not limited to, personal interests. If a person is always worried about what they don't have or what they don't like within, they will never know what they do like about themselves or learn to value what they have. The most common problem with personal contentment today is stressing over what society feels is plus size or how much money you have. A person cannot feel content with themselves if they are always concerned with not looking like the Photoshop magazine models or not having all of the luxuries of life that they see on TV. Not being able to just be okay with what you have and not kill yourself to compete with the next person or keeping up with the Joneses. So many people put on a mask to cover up who they really are, to try and get people to believe that they are something that they're not. The thought is absurd. The only person you have to justify yourself with is you. People have truly lost the definition of happiness and have been submerged with the materialistic views of society. This factor has tainted our society in a major way. Those that are overwhelmed in fitting in with the status quo tend to be a lot less happy because most of the time they're covering up who they really are to pretend to be in love, to fit into the crowd, and even to pretending like the fake person they're portraying. This is a sad but true reality, and there is nothing we can do about it. This is something that is going to continue to go on forever, because everyone has their own opinions of how a person should look, act, and even who they should be with. People should just realize what they like about themselves and all the other aspects of life and forget what society thinks about anything. Focus on you and figure out who the real you is. We are all living on earth to die. So while you're living, you might as well live for you. If not, who are you living for? Happiness is respectively like beauty. It is in the eye of the beholder and maker. No one can be told how to be happy. It has to just come naturally by the embrace of the one in search for it. Happiness can never be found if the beholder is in its full costume. Be you, and what is meant for you will be delivered.